all fantasy football gurus, we have a mock draft order for our league. Stay tuned. All right, Alfredo, let's get into it. We have the first person on this list, a illustrious member of this league, Steven. We already talked about it more or less. Do you think he's throwing out a smoke screen?
No, I don't think so, Pedro. We're gonna be doing the rankings of who we think is going to select based on the people that we know and the order. So in Steven's case, I mean, I would tell you that he said that he was gonna pick CD Lamb, and I believe that is the correct choice. CD Lamb is has a great. And remember, this is a full PPR
Mhm.
dynasty ranking. CD Lamb will be with a quarterback consistently for the next couple of years with Dak Prescott. He is the number one target for the Cowboys in a pass happy offense. So, I mean, there's no doubt that CD Lamb will be number one
The
for
safest, the safest pick, in my opinion. I don't know. Like you heard the Fantasy Football Gurus podcast, right? He basically came out saying that the consensus pick is usually CMC because the guy is great, and last year he was awesome, even though he didn't perform for Danny when he needed him most. But that's a different story for another day.
Yep.
We're watching you, Danny. Um, Besides that, yeah, I see. If it was me in number one, I would pick CD Lamb because at the end of the day, just like you said, this is the safest pick, the easiest situation for you to predict that the guy's going to do well, barring injury.
Yep. Does the contract situation concern you?
No, absolutely not. The guy's a stud. They're going to pay him. We've seen this is the Cowboys that we're talking about. Jerry Jones will pay anybody that performs, and we just look in the past. Everybody that's gotten paid, even people that were on their way down, he pays, and
All
a
right.
la Elliott, you know.
All
So
right, perfect. All right, so Steven, we project he's gonna pick CD Lamb. So number two, is gonna be none other but Danny, the Fly Vasquez.
yes,
So
yes.
he has a number two pick. Who do you think he's going to pick, Pedro?
Look, I doubt that he's going to do the same thing that he did last year. He's going to pick CMC. It's not. I don't think that's going to be the case. If anything, I see Danny going and saying that he's going to pick maybe a Jamar Chase. It seems to me that that's more of a pick that Danny would make. But to be honest, if he were to decide to go and say, you know what, I'm going to pick a running back, because remember this is dynasty. I can see him picking Bijan Robinson, not just because he's a good running back, but also to screw Franklin.
So you think he'll be willing to get? So you project that Danny's gonna pick Bijan Robinson at number two.
It's very possible that he could pick Bijan Robinson at number two because remember, I don't know if you like a lot of people that are out there that play fantasy football. A lot of people they never delved into dynasty, but the most important thing is to get a guy that's going to be available for you for a long time. And we know that Bijan Robinson could play. And from what we've seen in the past, it was only the issue of the coach holding him back. So now with a new coach, maybe we have a different situation, but we know he's a baller.
Don't you think maybe because my question about running backs is that running backs could get hurt. Do you feel that can be a case?
It's any position could get hurt, Alfredo. To be honest, I don't see any one position being more uh like way more likely to get hurt. We've seen in the past, like you saw me last year. I picked up Derrick Henry, and I picked up before that Saquon Barkley, and then Derrick Henry. And they both got injured during the year. They were older running backs, so I knew that I was making a gamble there. But a young back, in a good offense, I don't think they're gonna run him into the ground.
Okay, perfect. So we're picking Danny with Bijan Robinson. Well, so for number three is actually going to be myself. This if this scenario happens, I will love. I would not even have 1 second to go because again, Danny got blinded by trying to screw Franklin, and he didn't see the big picture because he had the safest, best player available in his hands. And I'm going to take him at number 3, Jamar Chase.
Fredo, you're crazy, man. I've already told you many times. We've talked about this on the podcast. You are insane. You are the insane. I'm gonna have to make a video about you.
Nah, man, no, none at all, bro. Jamar Chase, and I have already told you, he has an all-pro quarterback, young, throwing him the ball. T. Higgins might not play for the team next year, so he will be the number 1 target for the Cincinnati Bengals. This guy was hurt last year, Jamar Chase, and you know what? I think this will be the breakthrough where he might even pass CeeDee Lamb. He's young enough, no contract situation to worry. I mean, I would just from the moment that Danny picks Bijan Robinson, when I go to number 3, I pick Jamar Chase.
Bro. You're crazy, man, because it's not just that Jamar Chase was injured last year. Remember, Joe Burrow has been injured every year in the beginning of the year. So what's going to change this year? And the only thing that's changing is he's getting a year older. Maybe he doesn't bounce back as fast. And we all saw, I think it was the quarterback that was his replacement did well enough, but it's not on that Joe Burrow level. So it's a little bit of a risk there, but the talent is there. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. All right, let's move on to number 4. Alex. He has the 4th player. Who do you think he's gonna take?
Well, Alex is a fellow NWO member. We all know how that goes. So let's put this in perspective. Last time that he was out, last year we called his team AARP for a reason. He picks the known players, older players, but known players in the league. I think this year he's going to turn that around. This year I see him picking Amon-Ra St. Brown. There's not there is nobody beside in that list now that's available that is has a situation as stable besides CeeDee Lamb than Amon-Ra St. Brown.
So you're picking St. Brown at number 4 from Alex.
Correct.
I mean, he's someone that is trending up in the next couple of years. So yeah, so Amon St. Brown can be that player. Let's go on to number 5, and this is going to be interesting because players are dropping to this election, and probably players that we don't expect them to have lasted this long. At number 5, we have the defending champ Jonathan KMA.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you project Jonathan's going to take?
Look, this is gonna be pretty easy. I don't see Jonathan. Jonathan's the defending champion 2 years in a row. I don't care what Franklin says. Yes, Franklin, if you watch this, I'm telling you, I don't care what you say. He has won 2 years in a row because of his wit and everything and his smarts, because he outsmarted everybody, even at the end when he outsmarted Deeds. But you know what? Let's put it in perspective. Well, look at what's on the board, Alfredo. Justin Jefferson. He's on the board. Why would he not pick him? Even like a dark horse, everybody's saying that, we're not sure if he's going to be any good. Breece Hall. I think if in my heart of hearts that he's going to go for Justin Jefferson.
Wow.
The guy is not in most mock drafts, he's number 1. Not just number 1 in most mock drafts. He is a head and shoulders number 1. We've been playing the game for a long time, but we haven't seen that many players come into the league and be as productive and be as impactful as Justin Jefferson. And this is the first year that we're going to be able to see Justin Jefferson with a different quarterback that's not going to be carrying him. Because some people said that in the past that Cousins was feeding him the ball. Maybe that's not going to be the case, but we all know that he is a talent like none other.
So why do you think Justin Jefferson dropped to number 5?
Justin Jefferson drops to number 5 because there's an unknown factor there. Of course, Justin Jefferson got injured. We all know how that goes with any wide receiver or any player in general. You lose a step when you get injured. But his step is so much faster, so much better than others that it doesn't matter if he loses a half a step. He is that damn good. Now, his biggest issue in my book, which is why I didn't put him at number 1 in my mock drafts, is the quarterback situation. Who is going to be throwing him the ball? Let's see what happens. I don't expect a big drop off from the production that we saw him in the last couple of years, but there is going to be a drop off.
Well, Pedro, I'll tell you this: if the Vikings can get a good quarterback, there's a lot of projections out there that they might trade up for a rookie quarterback, a very good rookie quarterback, because this draft class is projected to be good. Can you imagine Jefferson can end up having a better quarterback than what he had before? So, if you're projecting for Jonathan to take Jefferson at number 5, I would say Jonathan gets a steal at number 5 because he dropped all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
And if things go well, he can be better than CeeDee Lamb and better than Jamar Chase. So great pickup for Jonathan at number 5. I think he will be on his way for the 3P. Looking forward to it. And of course, by him picking Jefferson, he breaks Franklin's heart at number 6 because I know Franklin was licking his chops, thinking that he was going to get Jefferson, and KMA ends up sweeping and taking. So who do you project Franklin at number 6 to take?
Number
So he has just so we can see there's Brees Hall,
mm-hmm.
there's AJ Brown,
Mm-hmm.
Jahmyr Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, maybe Christian McCaffrey, Puka.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think Franklin's gonna take at that?
This was going to be an interesting pick because now we're only 10 players that we're in the middle of this draft in the first round. There are still a couple players on there that are extremely good. This is where I believe where this is going to be where the very good value picks are. Because right now I know I'm picking a number 10, but if I could change with anybody, I would change with Franklin. Franklin at number 5. Because right now you have great picks here. You have Garrett Wilson, Christian McCaffrey. You have
Kill.
You have everybody. You have Puka, Karen Williams, Jonathan Taylor. The guy who I think he's gonna pick is this one guy, AJ Brown.
Oh, so he's gonna go back to what made him last year, AJ Brown, his best player. So you think he's gonna go back with AJ Brown?
Yes, he's going to go back to AJ Brown because look, there's not going to be an issue with contract. The Eagles have consistently paid their best players. They don't let them walk. We know that quarterback situation is going to be sound for the next couple of years. This is a great situation. The only thing that I need to see is because that's more of a running team, not necessarily a passing team. So getting AJ Brown this high is a little bit suspect, but you know that you're going to have a consistent player on your hands at number 5.
I think this draft is if you're in the top 5, no matter the order, is going to be consensus. There is going to be, you're probably going to get either of those 5 players. But from 6 on, I think that's another level that drops considerably after that number 5 guy. So Franklin there, picking AJ Brown. Rumors that he might pick up Tyreek Hill, because Tyreek Hill can have productive 2 years, but I think that's all bluff, and he's gonna go back with AJ Brown. So now that we know who Franklin's gonna get, let's go on to number 7, Andy. These, right. Mr. Dees. Who we think Dees is going to take? So of course there's Brees Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson, Christian McCaffrey.
Look, this is another pick that I think is a little bit easier than some give credit for. Deeds is actually a really good player. The only issue with Deeds is that sometimes he's going to be blinded by the stars. Of course, you like you mentioned, you have Tyreek Hill sitting there still, but there's a reason why this is a dynasty draft. You do not pick older players so high. There's a reason for that. Now, what do I think he's gonna do? If he's smart, which he is, he's gonna pick Garrett Wilson.
Ooh, Garrett Wilson over Brees Hall.
Over Brees Hall, correct.
Wow.
Yeah, because the talent is there. Everybody saw the talent in the last few years. The talent is there. The only thing is the quarterback going to be able to get him the ball? We've seen it in the past. Quarterbacks have gone into the Jets and not been able to use him to the best potential. And we
Okay.
all saw the potential that he has. If Aaron Rodgers does what he's supposed to do, we all know he's going to be his favorite target. He's going to pepper him with receiving yards and receptions. Let's see. Let's make sure that's happening. Because if
And
it
you don't
does,
think and you don't think Mike Williams, or one of our dear friends, Mike Williams, signing with the Jets will hurt him?
no, it's not going to hurt him because Mike Williams. We know who Mike Williams is. Mike Williams is a solid number 2, and we all know that. There's nothing wrong with Mike Williams. He was supposed to take the next step last year, and he did it in a pass happy offense. You think he's going to do it now in the Jets in another probably balanced offense? I don't think so.
Okay, great. Let's move on to number 8. Here we have Lex at number 8, formerly known as Los Coquis. Who do you project for him to take?
Now, Los Coquis is another smart player. He's a little bit blinded by the Eagles players because he is an Eagles fan. But I think that this year he's going to be a little bit more considerate to what's actually going on in the league. This isn't a money league, but still, this is a bragging rights league. And it's a league that everybody talks trash. So coming out and not making the playoffs is not something that you want to do, especially when you're out there making your own podcast, Mister Frog. So let's see what we got here. We still have on the board Puka Nacua, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey,
Brees Hall.
Brees Hall. This is where I think he is going to pick up Brees Hall.
Okay, that's a good selection. So 2 Jets back to back. Now let me ask you, since we know him and he loves his Eagles, would you consider him taking Jalen Hurts in this first round?
Not in the first round, no. Quarterbacks this early, even in Dynasty, I don't think it's a smart play. Those are more or less. I would reserve them for the second and third round, even though it may. If we were to do a round 2, I think that quarterback will go in round 2.
Okay. All right, let's go on to the new member of the league, Ralphie. We don't know much about him because all these selections based on what we know from the people. And Ralphie, he is the mystery. But who do you think Ralphie will take at number 9? Of course, there's a selection of Jahmyr Gibbs. Christian McCaffrey has dropped all the way to 9.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin Harrison is there. Puka, Tyreek Hill, maybe even Kyren Williams.
Yeah,
what do you think?
This is where I think that things are going to start getting a little bit more clearer because, of course, now the herd has thinned out. What I believe is going to happen here at number 9, like you mentioned, you still have very good players there at number 9. I think this is where Christian McCaffrey goes.
Oh, okay.
This is where it makes the most sense because he has been beat to the ground the last 2 years really. So this is where I think he would go. He is getting up there in age, so we have to keep that into account. I don't know Ralphie, so we don't. This is the first time he's going to enter the Guru League. He has made the ascension to greatness to be a part of this prestigious league. So let's see what he does. But
Okay.
the pick to make here is Christian McCaffrey.
Wow. That's gonna be a shocker. Just seeing Christian McCaffrey in so many drafts being on top and drop all the way to number 9. So you have the last pick, Pedro. You have a choice, a plethora of players. Correct. So obviously you have pick number 10 and pick number 11. But in this case, number 10. Who would you pick?
All right, we still have a couple really good players on the list. We have, of course, Puka Nacua, Jonathan Taylor, Tyreek Hill. This is where I am going to pick Jonathan Taylor.
Wow. At number 10.
Yeah.
Now, Pedro, just to put you, why would you pick Jonathan Taylor over running backs like Jahmyr Gibbs or even Kyren Williams?
Well, who's to say that I will pick him over the other one? I have 2 picks right next to each other. Why wouldn't I pick them?
Okay, you will. So most likely coming back. So you're gonna go back potentially maybe the 2 running back strategy back to back.
It's possible
that last year cost you.
It's possible that I do that because it's different this year. If this is a dynasty, the hardest thing to pick are really good running backs. Run every year, Fredo, of a wide receiver ascends every single year. And we saw that with Puka Nakua. We've seen that in the past with just go back. Odell Beckham when I won my championship, when I beat you, of course. Every year there's a wide receiver that ascends and takes somebody the distance. This year is no different. If somebody has the number one waiver pick, which I will have, that's exactly how it's going to go down. Someone will ascend, and I will pick them up. Now, the difference this year is that there's a lot more. Since we're picking dynasty, there's going to be a different situation. Of course, everybody is shoring up their picks for the next few years. I am going to be picking people that I know are going to help me now and that will probably help me in the future. But this is the first year we're trying Dynasty, so let's see what happens.
Okay. All right, perfect. So just to recap, Steven will take CeeDee Lamb. Danny will take Bijan Robinson. I will take Jamar Chase. Alex will take it was number
Alex?
St. Brown. Jonathan will take Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, Franklin will take AJ Brown. Andy will take Garrett Wilson. Brees Hall, number 8.
Mm-hmm.
And number 9, Christian McCaffrey. And you are taking Jonathan Taylor. So, guys, these are early April mock draft of what we project. And everybody just debate. See who do you think has it right? Do you think Pedro's insane? Yes. Remember, just like this channel, subscribe, like this episode, and give us a comment.